There's a saying that says, if you can't join them, beat them. So, Smanda sent us down. Well, Smanda spent a lot of time on Friday, instead of focusing on who pulled the trigger for the death of Mzansi Unfiltered. He spent the day talking about Bongani Ntanzi calling Umjiago. We've already covered that in a full video, so if you haven't watched that video, make sure you click up here and catch up on the Umjiago versus Bongani Ntanzi saga. But in today's video, Mzansi, please, first of all, please go ahead and like the video. But I see that I have to start asking you at the beginning of the video, and I always like to get into the ndaba right away so that we can dissect it. But we got to take care of the house rules. Please like the video and let's get started. Today's video is about the 5 accused over there at the Boksburg Magistrate Court. At the Boksburg Magistrate Court, their first appearance on the 27th of October 2020. Now, somebody in the comments of my last video, in the Bongani Ntanzi video, said, did you see their shoes? Did you see their kavalis? I'm like, focus. We are not here to talk about that. But you know what? They really look nice, okay? You can't not see those shoes. But, and if you're the one who edited that comment, make sure you show yourself in the front of the comment section, okay? So Mzansi, the purpose of this video. So the first part I want to talk about in this video is, why are the 5 accused standing outside the dock? There are so many irregularities in this video. Or should I say, in the 5 accused first appearance at the Boksburg Magistrate Court. And we can only blame Usibanda, okay, for sending us down this rabbit hole. We are here now, so we're going to dissect it. First and foremost, the 5 accused, as you can see, they're standing. They stood the entire time, okay? They did not sit down. Why, you wonder? And why were they ordered not to sit down? Because when they arrived at the Boksburg Magistrate Court and they came up the stairs from under the jail, as Sims Wright likes to say, so when they came from under the jail, now I can't unsay it. When they came from under the jail, okay, they came up, and when they came up, they're supposed to go into the dock. The dock is right there where Umuzi Sibia is leaning on. They refused to enter the dock, and they said they cannot enter the dock because that means they will be part of the trial. So they profusely refused to enter the dock. Remember, at this point, they had zero legal representation, and this is where, after your arrest, you're supposed to appear in court within 48 hours as part of the Constitution. But we all know, before Bongani Ntanzi appeared here, he had been going on tour of duty with the police all over the place. But I digress. So they appeared here and they just simply told the judge, listen, sir, we're not trying to disrespect you. We don't know the law situation. What we do know is we did not kill Mzansi Unfiltered. So if I can just go right ahead. Actually, this is the second appearance. It's going to be a lot for me to re-edit this and take this out. This is actually their second appearance on the 27th of November 2020. Okay, so forgive me for that error. Why? Because I noticed the clothes. Accused number 4, Mapisa, is who I use to determine which appearance is this. Okay, so this is appearance number 2. So I apologize about that. Even the first time they refused, they stood up on their first appearance, which was the 27th of October 2020. They refused to go into the dock. Same thing the second time, because they're saying, no ways. If we do that, then we are saying we had a part in the murder of Mzansi Unfiltered, and we refuse to be associated with that crime. Okay? Sadly, at the beginning, you see Bongani Ntanzi raising his hand. He raises his hand several times in this appearance, even though allegedly Mjiago was there, his legal representation, and he was trying to communicate desperately with the magistrate, and the magistrate just would not give him the platform to talk. Now, we do know the magistrate has the power to allow him to talk, because we saw Utabo Besta give an entire speech, almost 20 minutes, about his constitutional rights. And it is of my opinion that Bongani's constitutional rights were denied from the very beginning. Let me know in the comment section if you agree. And if you do agree, drop a 1. Drop a 1 in the comment section down below. And while you're there, make sure you like the video as well, because I absolutely love it when you do. So the next part of the video I want to jump into is Advocate Mshololo. So Advocate Mshololo, this is actually a comment. I'm going to give credit to it. I'm going to see if I can find it again and put it up here. But if I remember correctly, this is what the comment says. And it reads, what everyone needs to know about Umshololo, Advocate Umshololo forgets that she is an advocate. And not taking away her rights, an attorney who instructed her should proceed in her absence because they hold the instructions and not her. Okay, so in layman's terms, there's a difference between a lawyer, an attorney, and an advocate in South Africa. Funny enough, this is a conversation that I was having prior to seeing this comment. And you know what? Now that it is relevant, let's get into it. So this comment also made me remember, wait a minute. If Mshololo wanted, if she wanted, she could have had the other advocate or attorney who usually shows up in court but doesn't really talk much, Mnyegi. He could have represented accused number five while Mshololo went on her recess, holiday, vacation in Mauritius, as Judge Retta called it. Let me know in the comment section if you feel Mnyegi would have been a good option. Hate to say that, would have been a good option in Mshololo's absence to represent accused number 5, or was Mshololo within her rights to ignore the judge, look sideways, look down, not respond again on the matter because she already told him it's recess, it begins tomorrow. Let me know in the comment section down below. And while we're on the topic, I also wanted to make sure that we, the members of the general public, are all on the same page with regards to defining what is the difference between an attorney and a lawyer. And here we go. I found this on the web. An advocate is more of a specialist practitioner and provides his or her services by way of specialized. Okay. So it's the Pretoria Society of Advocates. Woo! It's a long read. But let's do it. So the difference between attorneys and advocates, the distinction between the profession of attorney and advocate in South Africa mirrors the distinction between the profession of solicitor and barrister in the Commonwealth countries, with attorneys having broadly equivalent roles to solicitors and advocates having broadly equivalent roles to barristers. Although both professions provide legal services, they do so in different ways. It's like a doctor and a specialist, or a doctor. It's like a general doctor, the one who does everything. My head hurts, I have a sore throat, my fingers are tickly, everything. And the one who does heart procedures only. It's the same thing. So that is the main difference between an advocate and an attorney. Umshololo, Mnisi, Ngumalo, Ramasipili, and Mr. Fearfokolo Ngomezulu are all advocates. They are specialized in the art of advocacy. And let me give a few more definitions just so you can understand why they are there in the High Court. As a rule, an attorney is more of a general practitioner standing in a direct relationship with his or her clients and either assisting them with legal advice or providing them with a range of legal services. Okay. An attorney is the first port of call whenever one is in need of any legal services, or if to cater for these needs, some attorneys form partnerships or establish incorporated legal firms. An advocate is more of a specialist practitioner and provides his or her services by way of specialized expertise in various areas of law, sometimes by providing an opinion on a legal issue, but especially in the presentation of cases in court. The profession of an advocate is what is known as a referral profession because an advocate provides his or her services only upon referral of a matter by an attorney. An attorney therefore engages or contracts for the services of the advocate so that the advocate stands in an indirect relationship with the clients of the attorney. This mandate or instruction, normally given in writing by the attorney to the advocate in a particular matter, is called a brief. Advocates accept briefs only from attorneys and not directly from members of the public. And this is from the Pretoria Bar website. Let me know if you found that helpful. So it goes on to say, advocates are primarily experts in the art of presenting and arguing cases in court. Until 1994, only advocates were allowed to present cases in the high courts of the various provinces, which were then known as Supreme Courts, and the appeal court in Bloemfontein, now known as the Supreme Court of Appeal. Attorneys with the so-called right of appearance may now also appear in these courts, as well as the Constitutional Court. The vast majority of the cases in these courts are, however, still presented by advocates, and some advocates also appear on a regular basis in the magistrate courts. And this requires a mastery of law and of the facts of the case, a good judgment, and the ability to present a case clearly and coherently. Advocacy is, in essence, the art of persuasion. Not only must an advocate be able to communicate effectively, he or she must also this one needs Nisi to come and read it for me. He or she must also consciously, I got it, conscientiously prepare every case by reading up on the law, by knowing and understanding the facts of the case, by seeking advice, and by clearly defining the issues which need decision. Advocates also give legal opinions and help with the drafting of legal documents that are required in every walk of life, be it commercial, industrial, or domestic. An important part of the work of an advocate is to provide legal assistance to needy clients by way of pro bono. In these instances, an advocate is working for the good of society at a reduced rate and, in some cases, without remuneration. Every advocate practices individually in his or her own name. I think that's the difference. If I remember correctly, that's the difference between an advocate and an attorney. An attorney is part of a firm. An advocate stand alone. I digress. The ethical rules for advocates do not allow them to practice in partnership or through a legal entity such as a company or a closed corporation. Okay, an advocate renders his or her services individually and takes personal responsibility for his or her decisions in the course of doing so, not working during recess. An advocate is, by definition, a person of honor and self-discipline. Giago. He or she is duty-bound to practice without fear or favor. Amen. And that is the reading of today's word from the Pretoria Bar. Let me know in the comment section down below if you learned a thing or two here about the art of advocacy. And you know what? Let's take this moment to take a pause. Okay, and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're watching from outside the club, why are you doing this to yourself? Let's go back to the Boksburg Magistrate.
Right, as to below, the court has now noted that decrees number 1, 3, and 4 are also represented by Mr. Coroner. He's bearing the application from the state side at this stage.
Indeed, Your Worship, the case was postponed to today for the service of the indictment and related documents, and for the matter to be transferred to the High Court. The indictment is at an advanced stage of finality. However, there is still forensic investigation that is outstanding.
And Counsel Mshwelo.
As the court pleases, Your Worship, the worshipper, as it is clear that we are representing, or we are before this court for the first time today, and we have been informed that it was for the indictment and other documents to be supplied to the defense. It is true what my learned friend has addressed this court to say we've agreed that the matter be adjourned until the 5th day of March 2021. The defense in respect of accused number 1 has agreed, but with reservations, that there is still an outstanding forensic investigation in this matter. And then also, secondly, what I want to put on record.
Sorry, you are speaking on behalf of accused number 5.
5, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, accused number 5.
Yes, you said accused number 1.
Oh, sorry, Worship. My apologies, Your Worship, for accused number 5.
Yeah.
And then also, surprisingly, Your Worship, the investigating team approached the accused number 5 at the Kalagabusha prison, requesting the fingerprints which were taken from accused number 1. And again on
Accused number 1 or 5?
accused number 5, my apologies. Accused number 5, Fiso Butle Njoli. Again over the weekend, I received a call from the same investigating officer wanting to take the second set of the fingerprints. The defense strongly objects to that. However, there are discussions that are still going to happen between the state and the defense. But I want to put it on record that my client appeared before this court when there is an outstanding investigation, especially for the fingerprints that they want to take.
Yes, and?
That's what this is.
You've made your point. Anything further?
Yes, no, that's all yours.
Thank you. The date suggested by the state also satisfactory to all parties.
I confirm the date is suitable.
Accused number 5 is raising its hand.
Counsel, you may approach your client. Just make sure is the correct person, accused number 2.
My client wishes to address the court, and I have advised him that he has to address the court through me. But he has been insisting that he wishes to address the court in matters that are not particularly related to this appearance.
Yes, the court is not going to allow that at this stage. This is not a media conference, it is a court appearance. If you wish to address the media, do so in your own time, not as part of court proceedings.
So I'll do a full video again with the responses you guys did with regards to this clip, with regards to Mzansi and Bongani Ntanzi. But there's one comment that stood out to me, which said, I'm just going to paraphrase it. The comment said, why did the judge talk about a media briefing when Bongani Ntanzi wanted to talk to the court? Do you get it? The judge said, this is not a media briefing. You can arrange that with the media later. This is court. But Mzansi also didn't say anything about a media briefing. And another thing I want to bring to your attention is that Mzansi, he can't just say whatever he wants. He is hired by the client. So in this case, we'll assume that Bongani Ntanzi and Mzansi had a copacetic relationship. Everything was good. Mzansi's job, okay, as an advocate is that he is supposed to take whatever Bongani Ntanzi says, so get instructions from Bongani Ntanzi and turn it into a court language. So if Bongani Ntanzi says, I'm being abused, I'm being tortured, I hate it, this is unfair, I hate it, I don't want to be in court, I want to go back home, I didn't do it, and he says that with all this emotion. We see that Bongani Ntanzi talks with his hands with passion, okay? The job of an attorney, advocate, lawyer is always to take what the client says, take out all the fluff and the emotion, leave the facts. The judge or magistrate only needs to hear the facts, the clean version. So in this case, it would be my client, Bongani Ntanzi, feels that he is being persecuted unfairly or he is being tortured. My client wants to dismiss me as his attorney. So do you see the difference? It turns it from being a paragraph of a conversation to just one sentence. Nice, clean, copacetic, conscious for the judge to make a judgment. Because judges are there for just to listen to the facts. They're not there to hear about how much you miss being home. Let me know in the comment section if that explanation makes sense to you. Let's continue on.
Be quiet, sir. You have a legal representative, and I advise you to be quiet and act upon your attorney's instructions. Yes, the cameras will be switched off again so that what is said in conference not be recorded.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking to watch once again. You know what can be said? No one can say that Bongani Ntanzi did not try. He didn't know the law. He didn't know his rights. He didn't know what he should and shouldn't do. And all 5 of them were passionate about wasn't just getting the magistrate to hear what they had to say. Unfortunately, that is not how it works in the courthouses, and they had to go back to their individual detention centers. So from November all the way to March 5, they were back in custody. Okay, so was it unfair? Absolutely. Could things have gone differently? Yes. This is another reason why I enjoy leaving my comment section open, because it is an option that I can turn it entirely off, but I love to engage with you. I also learn from the comment section, and some of you come up with the most greatest ideas and some questions that I also haven't put together. So Mzansi, my question to you is, what are some things so for example, this is why I do these videos, so that if you're ever found on the other side of the law, may that never happen, but if ever you do, you can even refuse fingerprints. Did you hear what Mshololo did for accused number 5? That guy already has a whole conviction. But Mshololo says, we have reservations, okay? We have reservations about their request to investigate my client's fingerprints. What? I thought if somebody asks you for your fingerprints, you give them willingly, but I didn't know. They need to go to the magistrate, get permission, or speak to your advocate, and your advocate decides if they are within their legal rights to ask for your fingerprints. And that's a food for thought for you, Mzansi. Let me know in the comment section down below what else you have also learned from the Senzomiwa trial with regards to the law, the constitution, your rights, and just the general operation of the courtroom.
All the legal representatives, please make sure that your clients understand that they are skating on thin ice with regards to contempt of court. Actions like this will not be tolerated in future. The matter has been postponed. As the court stated, the court will now adjourn and the media to immediately clear the court.
And Mzansi, if you've made it this far in the video, you already know I absolutely love you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching from outside the club, you are welcome to just hit that subscribe button. And if you want to become a member of the channel, it is absolutely affordable. Go ahead and click the join link in the comment section down below. Mzansi, yesterday I was supposed to put a post on Instagram. I apologize. I've put it up. It's already up. Get to know me. Ask a question. Video suggestions. I left those cards all on Instagram. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, that's another place to search for Mzansi Unfiltered. That's it from me today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.